I probably should have. So
here's one of the dogs.
Dog.
Yeah, this is Lucina. She is the worrywart of the entire household. She's afraid of everything.
This is an excellent way to start this video.
And she likes to bark.
So,
oh, thank you.
Logan, now you have to put chili on the screen.
I'll get chili on the screen.
Oh, we're live. God damn it.
yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, we would have been live.
As I try to get okay, so it is a lovely day, a lovely crisp autumn day in Briggen, Fowl. It is Friday afternoon, and Dee is having a parent-teacher conference with her mother.
Oh, bless you.
And I forget Vin's name, Mr. McBride. As even though Dee is an exceptional student, she could, in theory, be doing so much better.
What? They don't like my attitude? I don't get it.
When you say she could be doing better, what does that mean exactly?
She's smart enough to be in the top, students in the class, but, maybe she finds the coursework a little easy.
No, what I'm asking is like, what is she doing? Is she turning in papers late? Is she writing C papers when she was writing A papers? Like what? I'm trying to.
Is she a good test taker, but bad at homework?
Feel free to pick one.
I don't know. I was just told that I was a terrible student. I thought
not terrible.
Well, you're not terrible. You're just average, and we think you could do better.
Fine. No,
there are good students, and there are the students who would do good if they just work.
Thank you. I'm in charge.
She does the work. Probably her biggest problem would be the fact that she doesn't pay very close attention in class, and then goes home and just like she'll do all the homework and stuff, but like she really just doesn't pay attention in class at all.
There you go.
Like she tends to be sort of doodling or something else, anything else. Maybe sneaking a book underneath the desk to read. That type of thing.
Okay.
And so, yes, you are currently having a parent-teacher student meeting with Fern and Dee, or Indira. So.
Her mother's name is Fern.
Her mother's name is Fern.
Her name is Fern.
Does she have a brother named Cleo? Sorry.
And yes.
Wait till you meet Dad.
Fern, may I call you Fern?
It is a little informal, but you call me in here because my daughter and Miss Singh is fine.
Okay, Miss Singh, trust me, I understand what it's like to have a daughter. It's complicated. But rewarding.
Are you trying to tell me what it's like to be a parent?
That said, her daughter is not applying herself. And perhaps I thought maybe we could stress to her the importance of a good education.
Yes, please. Can I hear that?
Fern kind of looks at Indira and then back at Mr. McBride. Sorry, my husband is in the background and it's distracting me.
Go away, Udam. Go away.
Sexy jeans.
Sir, not sir, not appearing in this scene.
Yes. Like, what are you doing? Why are you on the floor? Anyways.
Fern has a man on the side.
Charming.
Fern would never have a man on the side.
She's got a special man.
That's right. Her man is the best.
Her man is
As
the
far as-
Lord Jesus Christ.
Did someone
No.
hold
No,
me?
that's
Oh.
another
I think
character.
that's the case.
Oh,
Anyways,
but can he dance?
as Fern turns to talk to Mr. McBride, there is a commotion heard growing louder from outside. And Patrick, I want you to roll Dex Athletics.
Oh, my. Okay, sounds great. What a way to start this off.
Yeah.
Okay then.
It's okay. Apparently, I'm easily distracted, so I'd be looking outside anyways at this point. Like, like they're talking and I don't care because I'm 18. I make my own decisions. So,
Okay. Would quick or nimble apply?
Quick would.
Okay, that's 4 successes.
Okay. A small crowd of children seems to be making its way through the streets that make the divide between the property that makes up the high school and the actual suburb of Briggen Fowl. Leading the pack is a young boy with bright green eyes.
Brilliant red flaming hair, and even though he's actually leading the pack, he's actually got like his hands on the handlebars of a wheelchair right in front of him as he's pushing someone along, and they're just going at like a freaking breakneck pace, just laughing and going along at just like top speed. Every bump in the road is like sending this thing like almost a foot off the ground and stuff, just full on,
and chasing them. Using swears that they are not quite yet familiar with. Is a bunch of like almost teenage boys. What do they call it? Tweens?
oh God.
Queens.
Yes. Yes.
So slightly older than the young man leading the the more youthful group. Are about kids between the ages of 11 and 13 trying to throw rocks and missing as they take aim over and over again, picking up what they can and just generally making a ruckus.
Can I see this?
If you look out the window, you certainly can, and you would
yeah.
even be familiar with the ringleader of the first group.
I feel like I might need to hide my expression upon seeing this.
Go ahead.
Oh, my right here. Like she's gonna be going, oh crap.
Mrs. Singh, this is a very important matter.
I'm sure it is, Mr. McBride.
Your daughter has wonderful ideas. I see them in her notebook when they turn it in for journal entries. However, quote one of my favorite films, Grease 2, I see some very sloppy.
There's no hiding that expression. She starts hacking and coughing. That is a terrible movie.
I see.
Top character B, no it is not. Urban essays written on why it's superior. I will find those later.
You guys, I just got 4 successes. To look at that, 3 10s to hide the original expression.
There you go.
Don't know that kid at all. Mm-mm. No.
I am paying attention, damn it. I am paying attention.
Now, she has a one-act play that is due for my class that is a good 45% of her grade. Should she do well on this one-act play, she will pass my class, not have to take summer school, and maybe graduate with a 3.0, which would then open doors for her. I want to make these things happen. I believe in her.
Well, you've given me something to discuss with my daughter.
Dara looks confused by this because this is actually the subject she's best at. Well, one of the 2 subjects she's best at. So she's confused by the fact that he's saying that she might not do well.
Yeah.
I'm just going with the ST told me.
I know.
Maybe you're not doing as well as you think.
Okay, she has academics 1. The specialty is classic literature.
Yeah. No, it is her best class, and she probably knows more than most of the students in there. But knowledge of the subject does not mean that you're paying attention, especially if you find the subject matter below you. Which is what I was implying, not that she's like a dummy in the class.
I'm like 3.0, Jesus. No, I mean it's cool. It's cool. I know we're just playing the parts here.
Well, no, I'm not saying she was a dummy, but that she's not doing the work she should be doing.
So, back to the commotion outside. The bully group of boys starts trying to herd the other kids away from the school, where there might be, I don't know, security guards and teachers, definitely authority figures they're familiar with, and across various lawns of the suburb.
Oh, they better not.
Crashing into various bird fountains and knocking over birdhouses. And as they do, a rock sails through a window with a loud crash. Marcia.
Ha ha! You missed!
You hear that coming from outside. You're now shattered. Front window.
So Marcia is for sure like listening to classical music and drinking a cocktail, and probably like going through like some kind of magazine in her, airy, beautiful, perfectly decorated living room and foyer. And a rock comes crashing through, and she jumps, and she's gonna do that whole when you rush directly towards something, like she sits here looking at it for a second because that did not just fucking happen. Do they know how expensive it is to get a window that size that is a single pane? And then she gets up and rushes toward the window, looks out, sees the commotion down the street, and then throws the front door open and thanks all the deities that exist for her terrifying ability to run in heels. And
oh no, that is terrifying.
You little hoodlums, get back here! Cocktail in hands.
You have to aim better, bar for brains!
She downs her cocktail and throws a glass on storming after these kids.
All right. You're going to need to roll Dex Athletics to keep up with them.
Okay.
That is a total of 5 dice for you.
With your terrifying ability to run in heels. This is a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off.
Hold on, I'm trying to find my window. Okay. How do I do this?
Okay, you're going to do \R space the number of dice, and I think I said that was 5 for you.
So 5d10.
Okay, and then just enter?
Nope. They are currently leaving you in the dust.
Even with pushing this wheelchair in front of me, I'm just woo!
But if you want to roll perception alertness, you can see where they are and maybe chase after them in your vehicle.
That's fantastic. So here's how I'm going to frame that. She realizes immediately that they're in much more practical footwear, and she gets frustrated and she stops for a second and she says, she yells, "One of you little bastards owes me $5,000 for Venetian glass!" And she turns around and arms toward her.
All right.
Perception and alertness.
Yes.
Let's see. Where's my perception? There it is, another 5. Oh,
Yeah. 2
better than
successes.
There you go. So you'll follow the kids in your vehicle. And as they seem to start heading towards the highway, since you're tailing them, you realize that the kids that are chasing the more boisterous of the groups, the other kids aren't from around here. Not that the other kid was, but there were a couple of familiar kids at least in the first group.
The shitty kids I don't recognize, but I do recognize the kids who are getting chased.
You recognize like 2 of them.
How much do I recognize them?
You don't, huh?
Do I know their names?
You know the name of the boy in the wheelchair is Joey.
Okay.
And oh my gosh, I need to.
Danny's probably the other. He's the oldest of the group. He's probably the other one in Fowl.
Yeah. And Jackie and Marcus will be the ones in Albus.
Do I know their full names?
I currently don't know their full names, but I'll get back to you.
Well, she's gonna, when she sees some of the kids she recognizes, she's got like her sunglasses on by now, of course. And, and it's got one of those impractically sized SUVs. And she leans out the window, and because I don't know anyone's full name, one of the kids whose full name she knows, she's just gonna say, "Full name, you better not have thrown that rock. I know your mother. She's behind on her HOA dues." And then she's gonna try to, I guess, just intimidate one of like these fucking little kids. Like they just threw a rock through her window. She's eat one of them. Like,
you can pick one specifically and roll. Let's see.
Dex athletics if you're throwing.
No, to intimidate.
Oh,
yeah, it's intimidation. Was it manipulation? Right.
Depends on how you're doing it. If you're guilt tripping it, if you're guilt tripping, it's manipulation. If you're like force of personality, that's charisma.
Yeah, either one. She's set up pretty well.
Okay.
So,
and of course, red caps are frighteningly good at that.
Yeah, so reduce difficulty for that, I believe.
Okay, I am gonna try to kind of guilt trip them.
Okay, so you can use your passive aggressive.
And intimidation,
Mm-hmm.
right? Manipulation, intimidation.
Yes.
So she's gonna look at one of the kids that's in like the shitty kid group, and she's gonna like push her sunglasses down a little bit and say, "Now I'm sure you boys didn't mean to ruin the brand new glass that I had installed in my living room this afternoon, and I'm absolutely positive that the least you could do is to clean it up for me, right? That way no one aside from us needs to get involved, like the local police or the sheriff's department or anybody's parents."
So roll 7 dice, difficulty 4.
Nope, didn't work.
You put the space in the wrong place. Or no, you didn't. There, it's /R. Yeah.
No, I know. I did it backwards. There we go.
It's all good. It takes a little bit of learning.
1, 2, 3, 4 successes. Because it's a reduced difficulty as your red cap. The boys that you recognize stop. So, Patrick, 2 of your friends stop what they're doing because of this woman that is following you.
It's a bit hard for Joey to stop as I'm the one pushing
he's going to try and like hold on to his own wheel. Like, dude, no.
Oh, come on, we're ahead of them. Come on, no. And as I'm just trying, but it's obvious he's stopping me. So I just we sort of spin for a brief moment.
Marcia, you are now facing.
We were just picking up enough speed too.
So now the 2 of you can see each other.
And to describe Patrick, because you can see how he really looks, aside from the fact that he looks like he belongs in this group of miscreants that's been leading this pack, you immediately pick up these brilliant, like, bright emerald green eyes. And there's something more about just being, like, absurdly bright. There's just something about youth and spring eternal just springing from these eyes. And that flaming red hair has, like, what seems to be like a laurel crown of, like, leaves and sticks, almost not like an actual, like, a Roman laurel, but, you know, in the style of that, but laurel crown. And he's completely dressed in leaves and it's sewn together with cobwebs.
Marcia looks for a second and just says, "Of fucking course." Now, wouldn't it be great if you told me who threw that rock so I know who's going to come back to my home and sweep up all that glass? Housekeeping already came today, and I'm certainly not going to do it.
So, serendipitously, this whole scene seems to be taking place in front of a dumpster.
A guy kind of like wakes up. He has this like huge stick that says, like, just like in the photo, it says the end is nigh. And he like opens his eyes, and Patrick would know who this person is. This is the homeless rat cat that smells really bad. And I don't know what Rebecca's character would know or not, but this is how he looks like in his famine. He is incredibly ugly, and like in normal form, he's a parent too. But he gets up slowly, and he slowly walks like he's having pain walking, and he says, "What's going on here, Air of Winter?"
Street Jesus! As I completely forget about the question about fear and stuff, and just run up to him and give him a great big hug.
The homeless red cap will pat him on the head. It will, probably make his head start to smell. And he says, "I said, what's going on here?"
Nothing.
You guys are
just being chased, and this lady's accusing us of breaking her window. We did not break the window. We were running.
I'm not accusing anyone. I want to know who did it, because one of these little miscreants owes me an hour's hard labor.
Red Cap, listen. What you're gonna do right now is you're gonna turn your back, fuck off, forget this shit, and let this kid go, so we can be friends.
If he's not the one that threw the rock, we're fine. Everything's great. If he is the one that threw the rock, he owes me 1 hour's hard labor.
I say he's not.
And I say I'm not.
So which one of you is? And she looks at the rest of the kids and not so discreetly, like, makes like a ugh.
This kid's under protection of myself, so I'm sorry. I say they didn't throw the rock.
There's like 8 other kids here. Just give me one of them. I don't care which one.
This kid's needed for the Air of Winter. The Air of Winter says they didn't. So Air of Winter takes the kids and fucks off.
Guys, we were going to lose them anyway.
Listen to me, Red Cap. I don't want problems.
Red cap here.
Mano a mano.
He says, "Mrs. Mason." That's
Fuck
me,
off.
Mrs. Mason.
Fuck off.
No. You're pronouncing it wrong. It's Mrs. Mason.
Oh my god, did I accidentally give you guys the same name?
Did you?
Yeah, Patrick Mason and Mrs. Mason. Patrick, we found your mom.
She's not my mom.
She is.
No, she's not.
How do you know?
Because she's not.
Patrick,
I
she
know
looks
that
like
he's mother.
herself.
They look so much alike too.
You two like
This is an amazing coincidence. That's amazing.
Marcia says, when I wanted you to give me a kid, that's not what I meant.
I mean,
What was those ones over there? As I say, I'm pointing to the group of 8 in the back.
Wait, you want to give a kid?
The
Pat,
group
want
of 8, upon seeing the 2 adults be menacing towards each other, have kind of like shuffled the fuck off.
Not to mention the fact that they've said the word red cap at least 3 times.
Yeah. No, the moment like the lady was like scaring the other kids, and I'm like, this is more crap than I want to deal with.
Listen, Marcy, you scared of kids.
They called you Marcy.
There's like a 99% chance that Marcia just leaves.
Okay.
She would.
That's fine.
She looks at him and she says, "Mrs. Mason," and then she does that like awkward drive where she's like reversing up the street, like she doesn't like keep going the right direction. She like fully turns in her seat, like looking behind her, and just slowly and poorly backs her way up.
Before you go, hey.
What?
Hey, red cap for red cap. Can you owe me $5?
You want to come clean up my parlor floor? I'll pay you 10.
What?
You want to come clean up my parlor floor? I'll give you 10. Work for your living. Have a little pride, man. Come on.
I ain't your bitch.
That remains to be seen. She says and continues.
Patrick.
What?
I found my queen.
You don't look like a witch.
I found my queen. Then I become the king of rat caps. I found my queen.
That's awesome, Straight Jesus. I'm glad you found your queen. But me and my friends, we got other things we want to do here. I mean, I do have $5. You want to get us lunch?
Yes, we will go to lunch.
They pull out a completely different wallet, and from
the pie scene.
It's actually one of the bullies' wallets. So.
Probably while they were fucking chasing you.
Probably. And I'm like pulling out, and there's like a few ones, and I managed to find. I just shoved all the bills and the change I find in there. It's not really $5, but it's what I got. So.
We can change these to 100 and eat again.
That's awesome.
I was going to say even a $1 bill would work for what you want to do.
Yeah, he doesn't know that. So.
No, I'm just telling him that. Yeah, doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's a bill.
What I do is basically like I will try to do a sleight in hand towards the kids as a bunk. So like I will show the $1, close his eyes, like touch his ear, pull the money back, and try to do metamorphosis 1 to make the dollar 100. You understand what I mean, Carol?
Yeah, you're doing a bunk to use metamorphosis. So
like a magician.
What was the bunk again, real fast?
Sleight of hand. Like basically he is making the kid believe he is really doing a magic trick.
Okay. I'll say that's a 2.
Thank you. I have 3 dice for this amazing thing, and I fail.
It remains a $1 bill.
You're a fucking idiot, kid. Fuck off.
Sorry.
Your followers, Patrick, they don't believe in magic right now.
Oh, goodness.
Of course they don't believe in your magic. They believe in mine, because we can fly, I said as I grab onto Joey, and we just push down, and since it's a downhill slope, I'm riding on the back of it as the other two are following, as the rest are following along.
As they zoom down, a young lady, about 7 years old, carrying ballerina slippers over her shoulder and a backpack across her back. Kind of notices, waves to Jackie as she continues towards her father's workplace. Back to the meeting between parents, the parent-teacher conference going on. If you just give me the assignments, my husband and I will make sure she completes whatever it is you said. What was it again? A one act? Where's Logan? Logan. Is he muted? Is he there?
Maybe he had to step up to get his food.
Oh.
Because he said something about that.
Let's see.
True.
How long ago was it?
I'm just guessing because he said he might have to at some.
Oh, okay. I thought he said he had food already. Well then, the
what
meeting
a crazy
wraps up.
Wait,
he said he's here.
He says he's
Okay,
here.
there you are.
No, well, we couldn't hear
Oh,
you.
can't hear
We
you.
can't hear you, so.
Uh-oh. It is worth noting that Marcia went home, looked dejectedly at the hole in her window, and poured an entire bottle of margarita mix into a blender with like whatever random shit she could find, and it's just like, and like, you know, whiskey and all kinds of garbage, and is just like fondantly staring at all this glass and this rock in her living room while she drinks it straight out of the blender.
Fucking Peter Pan broke my window, that bastard. And he has my last name. Disgrace to the Masons.
In a shocking twist, he really is her long lost son.
Kidnapped by circus folks and raised as one of their own. Oh Lord, I don't even know.
He's back, but then he just muted. So I don't. Maybe he's doing something.
No, it auto muted.
Oh, there we
There
go.
you
Now I can
go.
hear you.
Yay.
Okay.
Miss Singh, your daughter is wildly talented. I want her to just be engaged. She's been very distracted lately. Is everything okay at home?
She scowls at that presumptuous question. Excuse me, perhaps if you made a class that was challenging to my daughter, she would feel more inclined to be engaged.
This is an AP level course, Miss Singh. I assure you it's incredibly challenging.
Well, if it were challenging, then it would be engaging to Indira. And she stands up in that sort of, this meeting is over.
And he stands up and all of his title glory. Sit down, Miss Singh. We're not done.
You want to try and roll that?
My mom, there's going to be a problem here, but have fun with that.
Yeah, I do. Let's see. So I guess that would be, which one would that be?
I will just say that as soon as she stands up, I stood up with her because, you know, I'm here with my mom.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, let's see, you're trying to get her to listen to you. Manipulation. And let's see. I guess intimidation. So, and difficulty, yeah. No standard difficulty.
I'm gonna spend a willpower too.
Jesus,
all right, burn through that for the. I'm gonna burn through that for some stories stuff, but yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, setup.
Yeah, have fun. No dear thing. It's cool.
Yeah.
So 2 successes.
All right. She looks at you and she sits back down, but she doesn't seem particularly.
Do I have to sit back down too, or can I just keep standing? Because I want to keep standing.
You are your own agent, and he directed it at your mother.
I called you into this meeting because the principal is concerned about her behavior as of late.
Why is the principal worried about me? I am the best student.
According to the information I have been given, that is not exactly the case.
Are you calling my daughter a liar, Mr. McBride?
Of course not. I'm
Why?
trying to help.
If Indira says that she is not misbehaving and that in fact she is well behaved, I'm inclined to believe her.
Well then, when her grades begin to suffer as they have already begun to be suffering, as I have been informed, that will be on you.
Well, Indira, is there anything that you wish to tell me?
Any number of things, but none of them have to do with here.
Well, as I said, Mr. McBride, if you give us a list of the assignments that she needs to complete, we will make sure she has them completed. But if you expect me to sit around as you suggest that my daughter is anything other than an upstanding member of society and to suggest that she is dishonest, well, I think we can call this meeting finished. After all, I am not one of your students.
She has all of the assignments in her syllabus. I have also taken the liberty of, before this meeting, forwarding those to you as well, to the email address provided to us on the first day of class.
Well then, this meeting, I think, is complete. And she stands up, unless there's something else you would like to say to me about my daughter's behavior.
It's become troublesome as of late, but that's your problem now.
She just shakes her head. Come, Indira. Your father's cooking dinner tonight. We don't want it to be cold.
Yeah. She doesn't say anything. She just sort of stands and just start following. But I will mention that as she's following, she's going to turn at while her mom's back to her and just glare at McBride at this point.
He's just watching them leave.
That's fine. She's good. She's glaring at you regardless.
As she's walking and glaring, across your eye line comes a 7-year-old girl carrying ballet slippers. Daddy, class is done.
He smiles and stands and approaches her. Hi, Emma. How are you doing? Class was fun?
She doesn't look particularly enthusiastic about her class. She, as soon as she reaches the classroom, she immediately unzips her backpack and retrieves her stuffed horse. It was okay, Dad.
Well, your recital's coming up, isn't it?
I don't really want to do that.
Okay, why?
I don't like people looking at me.
Oh, my heart.
He nods a little bit. Okay, we can talk about that later. Do you have anything you wanted to do tonight, Emma?
And she just shakes her head. No.
Well, I thought maybe we could go see a movie, if you'd like.
And she whispers something to her horse. Falala says that we shouldn't be going to the movies. There's nothing good to be seen.
That's probably true. She's a very smart horse.
She nods.
Would you like to go to the bookstore?
And she shakes her head. I saw Jackie and some kids playing. I'd rather go find my friend and play with them.
Which friend?
She already said Jackie.
Oh, I misunderstood that. Sorry. Well, as long as you're home in time for dinner, you have your watch in your backpack, correct?
She rummages through her backpack. I think it must have fallen out.
Okay, well, how about this? We'll compromise and then we'll take you to the park myself. Maybe he will be there.
she. Jackie is a girl.
I thought Jackie was. Sorry, my apologies. Maybe Jackie will be there. Sorry.
There's two J's in Patrick's gang. There's a Jackie and a Joey.
Yes. Joey's in a wheelchair. Jackie is a girl.
Okay. Well, perhaps Jackie will be at the park. I can't really leave you unsupervised, Emma. That would be irresponsible of me.
Okay. And she'll stand up. She's not going to put her horse back in the backpack. And instead, when faced with either just putting down the horse for a moment or leaving her ballet shoes in the classroom, she opts to leave the ballet shoes behind.
He'll pick them up and put them in his own satchel thing as they're leaving.
She just kind of shuffles behind him.
Well, he'd walk slow enough to where she'd keep pace with them.
It's more of a I don't want to go to dance class anymore, and apparently we have to have a discussion about whether or not I'm going to go on stage kind of shuffle. The pouting shuffle of a child who just doesn't want to do the thing.
One second. I'm paying me because I'm a little confused about something. 1 second.
Okay.
If I can get Facebook to work. Ugh.
That is always a trick.
So.
Okay, sorry. I'm just a little confused.
Anyways, we can just. I mean, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, she's shuffling behind towards the car. So
he'll help her into the car and everything, and then start driving towards the park. He doesn't really say much unless she asks a question.
She's just kind of staring out the window. She's generally a quiet child as far as you've observed in the few months she's lived with you. As you drive to the park, there's going to be several kids there. The park lies at the edge of Briggen Fowl, and several kids from San Alopius will often go and play there because it's better than anything that's in that area. So it's a mixed bag of kids and kind of where they all mingle. About the school and these kids, they all go to the same schools until high school. It's only in high school that the district branches off and separates the kids living in San Alopius to PS 137 and the kids who live in Briggen Fowl to Robert Frost High School.
Okay.
That's fancy.
And my favorite poet, too. Awesome.
Lots of money means...
I had a teacher steal my book of Robert Frost poetry. I let her borrow it for a weekend, and then she got fired and never gave it.
Oh no, that's awful.
So yes,
the punk rock teacher stealing books from kids.
It's the best way to get free books, man. Can't fight you back.
It was all part of my complicated scheme. Get boss to borrow his book, get fired, never have to return it. Yes.
Anyways, Emma will point in a general direction and say, Jackie's over there.
Okay, well, I'm going to be sitting on that bench right there. You have fun, okay?
And she just kind of looks and does the little shrug and goes to meet her friend while carrying her stuffed horse.
When she runs off, he calls the dance studio and cancels the rest of her classes.
Okay. Miss Delane just kind of informs you that there is a no refund policy.
That's fine. She simply does not wish to do it anymore.
Well, she'd be a much better dancer if she didn't fight me for 30 minutes about that damned horse.
You will be quiet about that damned horse.
She has hung up.
She's getting a 0-star Yelp review.
You know, that would have been an okay person to pull that grandeur and all thing on.
Well,
I don't think it works over the phone.
Too bad. It's really too bad.
Maybe through prop. I don't know.
I don't have Sovereign 3 either. Or 2 now.
So there are several kids that you would probably be familiar with in the area. Probably not too many of Emma's friends. You've seen Jackie around. Like I said, she's probably one of those birthday party only kind of friends. But she seems to be wandering further and further away from like the general eye line and towards like a small cluster of trees. This isn't the forest I've described to a couple of people here. It's just where the trees are a little bit thicker so kids can plot their playground battles. Some teenagers tend to hang out around the park as well because parents these days are busy. And so they find it a decent enough place to get away from parental nagging or dancing.
I'm sure dancing is good.
But generally, just an easier place to be at.
Are you trying to hit that I should be going there? I mean, the simple fact of the matter is she kind of has to at least stick with her mom long enough for her mom to actually have a discussion with her and potentially eat a few bites of dinner before her mom's going to let her do anything.
Well, you would have had the time it takes to drive from the school, have the talk with Emma, and fire the dance instructor. Or, sorry, not fire, but offend the dance instructor who studied far too long to be putting up with this.
I was in the Russian ballet.
Well, she's a dance teacher in Vermont now, so she should really get over it.
Do you have naming?
He does, actually. So.
There you go, right? She's a hack.
What's her name again?
God damn it.
Wait, I'm silly. I'm silly. I can't do this. That would be very, very inappropriate.
Right. Because that's how we're motivated. Okay, so for an interlude, we head back into the suburb of Briggen, Fowl, where Marcia will be drinking her margarita mix.
Oh no, is she my neighbor? Because this worries me.
We're gonna say that you guys live in generally close proximity of each other, and perhaps the reason you feel so comfortable giving that awkward glare to your teacher is because he lives across the street from you. So,
or it might be
you
the fact that she
from her?
from
yes.
me. You potentially could. Why not?
Yeah, across the street from the puka and next door neighbor to the red cap, because I'm going to suspend disbelief and just say it's easier if you guys are all neighbors.
Get them all living on the same block. It's convenient.
I'll put them all living in the same house.
Just gonna say that if I know they live one direction, there's a very good chance when I leave, I'm going to go the other, even if it's longer.
Okay.
Am I part of this scene as well?
You can totally be a part of the scene if you felt compelled to follow the red cap lady.
I don't think I
Doesn't
follow
look
Red
that
Cap
far.
Lady,
Mm-hmm.
but
I don't
I
know if
think
she's
I
your
would
new
follow
queen.
Patrick.
Oh, okay, then he's at the park. Yes.
The homeless man's following the kids. Not suspicious at all.
The end is nigh. The winter is coming.
Is supposed to be doing anything other than sitting on her, like, in the living room and just staring at the place that was broken?
You could call a repairman.
What repairman has the specialty to repair Venetian glass like this? I ask you.
Does the red cap? Do I see the red cap looking outside of her house, or?
You can. The nicer houses will have like a view of the park kind of set up. So if you want to roll a much higher difficulty perception alertness, you might see the hint of familiar red hair staring at
I have a 10, 8, and 7.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, you somehow while in the park screaming about the end of the world, you turn, see a broken Venetian glass window, and a furious looking Marcia.
The end is nigh. Winter is oh shit. Hey! He just like screams at the street towards the house.
Marcy looks up and like sees who she's like, what the fuck? And she sees who it is, and she just narrows her eyes and ignores it and goes back to staring like, irritatedly at the glass on the floor.
You do have a good house.
She looks up again with her eyes narrowed. She stalks toward the window and she pulls the curtains over it. And then there's like a minute of like where it's just like closed, and then they like flick open for a second, and she like peers back out and sees that he's still there and shuts him like that.
Homeless red cap will go back near the kids. Won't say anything. He doesn't say anything, and he just like after like standing silent for like 20 seconds, he just says, "The end is nigh."
As he's screaming, Emma finally reaches where the kids would be, stops in front of you and says, "It's nigh what?"
Wait, so the kids are standing in front of the homeless dude?
The homeless dude is standing in front of the kids.
Okay.
But yeah, Emma's wandered off near some like trees, so she's not completely like out of view. She is slightly obscured.
The enemies or the creativity is coming. The cold. The end of the world. It's close.
She just tilts her head a little. Are you sure?
I am.
Oh.
The end is nigh.
Okay. She just kind of like backs away a little bit and like looks for her friend Jackie.
They're not too far off. They're probably not directly by him as he's doing his thing while they're having a powwow. Actually, Patrick is going around and he's going back and he's walking. And he's got at least like they're all walking around Joey in this sort of like sort of thing as they seem to be talking battle strategy over the bullies. Joey, you're the Xavier of this group. You're the one who knows best with the numbers. Come on. There's twice as many of them as there are of us. How are our odds?
Well, considering that they're much older than us, Patrick, not great. But I have some theories about maybe attaching a battering ram to the front of my wheelchair.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, we can do that. Danny, you know where you can get some wood so we can tie it to the front of his legs?
Danny just like laughs and shakes his head. Nah, man.
Is this happening close to the red cap? Jesus?
Yeah, it's happening close to the red cap. Not right next to, but close.
Okay, if it was happening right next to, he was gonna comment, but I'm not gonna comment.
Okay. Emma like just kind of stands outside of the powwow,
Kid.
kind of shyly.
Hey kid. He is looking at Emma.
She just like looks like she's going to cry because he's apparently continuing this conversation.
Did you know the human eye can see more shades of green than any other color?
Seeing his daughter talking to a homeless man.
You would recognize what he is. He's contained.
Yeah, I know, but a homeless man who is also a red cap, he will approach Emma. Dear, leave the nice man alone.
Nice kid.
Thank you.
I didn't see you around before. Welcome.
I've been here for some time. We probably travel in different circles, though.
Ugh. What a horrible thing to say to a homeless man. Travel in different circles.
I only mean that
Was it a mustache twirl? What the hell?
No, it's fine. It's fine. Keep going. Keep going. It's perfect.
It's fine. It's all
It
good.
is. Because you do travel in different circles. You travel around trash cans.
He's beating the garbage route.
Oh, it's great though. No, I love it. Keep going. Travel in different circles and go.
I don't know where I was going with that now.
Okay, sorry.
God.
I didn't mean to derail you. I just was amused.
The homeless red cap will just say, may I ask your name?
Then Star of House Gwydion, and yours.
I am homeless red cap. People call me he, him, it. Jesus. Red cap Jesus.
What do you call yourself?
Kind of things. I call myself homeless red cap as well.
I find it very strange to call you homeless redcap.
You find it strange?
Yes.
I guess I apologize.
There's nothing to apologize for, but that's a very peculiar name.
Thank you.
But
I'm surprised to see. Again, please forgive my wording, but I didn't see any of your people here.
yes, they are at court. I have taken a leave of absence.
I understand. These are strange times. The end is close. The dark things.
Excuse me?
The end is close and the dark things are coming.
At that, he just kind of like, he has Emma's shoulder a little bit.
Oh, Emma would have gone to play with the kids.
Oh, yeah, okay, so she's not there. Perfect.
No.
Right. Have you told these portents to the court seer?
Who's court seer?
Whoever. Her name is Lady Senna. She's a interesting woman, but perhaps she would be happy to hear about something so dangerous on the horizon.
Where did Logan go? I was gonna
I think
respond with
he literally left as you
I think I'm sure something dropped on his end.
We'll use this.
Yeah, there he is.
Yay, he's back.
Yes. And he's gone again.
Ah, now.
Can I ask something? Potentially?
Yes.
Is the park like walking distance from home? Or
Yes.
because I mean I have a car, I can drive. I just wanted to know.
Yeah, like you can walk it.
Okay. Can there be a smoothie place along the way?
Totally.
Awesome.
Briggen Fowl. If it has an artisanal pie shop, it definitely has a
Mario.
You know,
Logan?
Mario sounds good too. But
Logan, are you back?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's happening with Google Hangouts, but like literally, like I can't. It takes me forever to upload and overlay like things
it's
free.
okay.
And it
Just-
crashes.
Yeah, just go with
Just
your
play it
voice.
as you are. Yeah.
I didn't knew there was a court here, but I will keep this in mind.
Of course, there's a court here.
Oh, I'm sorry for my ignorance.
He doesn't seem. He doesn't look offended. He just looks highly confused.
I'm a homeless person who does not about know a court.
Courts aren't just for the nobility. Courts are for all of our kind.
Right.
Everyone is welcome to court.
Not my type usually.
That's not true. But okay.
Are you the king?
No, we're in a barony.
So you're the baron.
No, I'm a knight.
But how do you set the rules if you're a knight and not the baron?
Because the baron has welcomed everyone to court.
Why a baron welcomes everyone into court? I wouldn't welcome everyone to my court. I don't know everybody.
It is a gesture of good faith and goodwill. He's following the Ashat.
Does anybody pronounce that word the same way? Like any two
I don't
people.
think so.
I thought it was a sheet, but
I'm with Michael. I'm with Michael. I always say a sheet.
is there a pronunciation
Everybody-
guide for some of these words? I mean, I know for the houses they have it in the main book, but Jesus, some of these.
People pronounce it differently, but yeah, like the homeless red cap, aka his name is Lucian, but he doesn't share without trusting anybody, and he just said,
Lucian.
yes, it's Lucian, and he just like nods to the wind and extends a smelly hand and says, "My name is homeless red cap. Pleasure to meet you."
Wait, he extends his hand again?
Yeah.
Oh, Ben will shake his hand, looking just completely perplexed as to what just happened.
So you're not.
It's Vin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vin and Marcia are friends, right?
Sure. They get
Okay.
coffee on Sundays.
If they were next door neighbors, they might be. I couldn't remember if we had talked about that or not. Because at this
Before
point,
Emma showed up, Vin belonged to your book club, and several of your book club members bring Vin casseroles that he doesn't ask for.
oh, absolutely.
But he then like after they leave, he heads out the back door to your house with this casserole, and you sit there eating, going, "What the fuck is this?"
I only ask because by this point he would have for sure started receiving text messages that are just like you would not fucking believe.
He looks down at his phone and just, in our tradition, Rebecca.
Oh, God.
1 second.
Just say it. Say the text.
No, I know you have to read it.
God, I hate you guys.
Say it.
No, it's not about saying, it's about reading it.
Yeah, what?
We can't let that go, Rebecca. It has to be between our characters.
I know.
I wish I were dead.
What?
It was a pleasure to meet you, homeless Redcap. I'm going to go find my daughter now, though.
Thanks, kid.
I'm gonna say at this time that because I'd like to join the scene. That would be
Yes.
I'm gonna say at this time that she kind of wanders into the park more from the thicker, you said there was an area with thicker trees, so she totally comes in from that direction.
Excellent.
And she's carrying a big smoothie cup. Nobody can see the color of what's in there, which is probably good because it's probably a terrible color based on
Her inability to order.
right. But yes, she just kind of wanders in there.
Oh.
He actually nods to D and waves a little bit and looks a little like sheepish almost.
Yeah, she gives him just this look of shaking her head with her lips kind of pursed.
Before he goes to find Emma, he approaches and goes, "I'm sorry, I think I went too far."
You think?
I apologize. She reminds me of Lady Senna. And Lady Senna, if you haven't met her, is a gracious lady.
She kind of tilts her head and kind of does one of these things, like she's thinking really hard. And then she'll just be like, well, the last time I met her was yesterday, so my memory is wonderful of if I met her or not.
Wait, what?
Well, I just did my job right as a puka. Good job, me.
Huzzah.
Huzzah.
10 points to the puka.
She just shrugs.
Well, at any rate, your mother will detest me now, so anything I say, she'll believe you instead. So it looks like you're probably going to be able to go out to at least 12:30 every night.
At least what?
It can somehow be my fault, correct?
Oh, see, I didn't catch all of that. I'm sorry. I think it kind of cut out or something.
Oh, I was trying to say, well, now she'll detest me, so you can virtually get away with anything, because if I approach her from the school, she's not going to believe it, a word I say.
Well, yeah, I suppose. I mean, just fair, but please do that again. It really goes well.
It was too far, but it did go well.
Whatever. And she'll offer him she's holding just her cup. It's like a really like an extra large or whatever the biggest size you can get is. And she'll just be like, "Want some?"
What is it?
Wine. The best wine.
So, since the kids have been unobserved for a moment, they seem to have decided to do something using mud, leaves, sticks, and what looks to be a tutu.
Yeah, at this point, we have fully integrated Emma into the into the horde here as we're getting ready for battle.
She has mud streaked across her cheeks, as do at least 4 of them. But I can't speak for Patrick.
Oh yeah, Patrick's got like an entire face handprint of mud over his face.
Looking like something out of Lord of the Flies.
I am Lord of the Pies, thank you. But to go through the progression when Emma got over there, obviously Jackie recognized her first. She was introduced, and probably Gemma was like, "What are we doing?" Oh, we're trying to focus Joey's mental prowess. He's the brains of our outfit. So we're doing this little ritual here to try and give him good ideas. Want to join? Want to help? And so for a while, they've been doing the whole boom, boom, boom march around Joey and pitching ideas back and forth. Not all of them are coming from Joey, but it's still the little ritual and stuff. And finally, it's like, yes, all right. Well, we got a plan of attack. They'll never see us coming now. Let's get ready for battle. Come on. We got sticks. We can stick to the front of the of Joey's wheelchair there. So we're sticking there. All right. We got to get war paint on. Come on, war paint. As we just like, oh, by the watering, there's mud by the drinking fountain. Just hit the drinking fountain and let the water just spill right onto the ground to get the maximum amount of mud. And everyone's like painting each other. And so we got like sharpened sticks and stuff, and rock and like as many rocks as we can in our pockets.
Even Falala has mud streaked across her plush cheeks.
God.
A small handprint on her haunch. As Emma joins in and seems to be having quite the time.
All right, everyone. We know exactly where they are. We know exactly where they're going to be hanging out. We'll strike while the bacon's in the frying pan. That's when we'll strike. We'll do it now. Come on.
D, as much as I love Lord of the Flies, I think this is a bad decision for my daughter. Perhaps you could go get her for me? You're the cooler older girl. It might look kind of awesome for her.
You're trying to pawn your child off on me. Are you sure I'm a good influence?
You're a wonderful influence, and I'm not pawning her off on you. I just wish you would get her so we can go to dinner. And he's also like looking at his phone. Marcy's texted him back yet.
Oh, I forgot.
Anyone know any good marching chants?
Yeah.
Jackie.
My wife and 49 kids on the brink of starvation with only one hamburger left.
There's too many words in that. There's too many words in that. We can't use that.
Yeah. Yeah, Dee will flash a grin at him and just sort of shrug and then start marching off herself to the same beat as everybody else.
The end is nigh.
The end is nigh. As the kids all just start. Winter is coming. The end is nigh. Winter is coming. They're starting to march off to battle. The older kids.
Yeah.
As Patrick's pushing the car wheelchair.
Yeah, well, Dee is pretty much heading over that way. Like she's probably not very far at this point because she and she's basically trying to catch the one girl. She's going to ignore the rest. Aside from Patrick, if she sees him, she'll acknowledge him.
Yeah.
Too, but
Yeah, well, he's in the front pushing Joey, so he's right there. You can tell who he is, even with the mud smeared on his face. So.
And she's gonna basically, if she has to run, she will run to catch up because the other kids cannot stay up with you. Therefore, you have to slow yourself down.
Well, I am pushing Joey's wheelchair over the course of the ground anyway. So,
yep,
we're not running yet. We are marching.
So, I can say you could probably catch up with them fairly easy. So, since they're marching and Patrick isn't egging them on with his particular brand of enthusiasm and energy.
Well,
they're chanting they're literally chanting the end is nigh, winter is coming along the way.
And Emma chants along with them.
Yeah, well, Dee's going to sort of wiggle her way in there somewhere by her and just kind of touch her on the arm. And so there is now a much taller person in your little band, your little merry band of kids.
Mm-hmm. Haven't noticed you just yet, but I'm sure I will.
Yeah, she's just kind of leaned down to Emma and just be like, I totally don't think that's your dad over there, is it?
She stops chanting and looks over. Yeah, that's my dad. And she starts while looking at him, she starts like rubbing the mud off of her face.
Yeah, Dee will kind of dig in. She probably has some kind of a bag with her. She'll pull out some tissues to offer them to the kid. She's all about helping her look less guilty. It's cool.
She just kind of like scrubs at her face.
And Patrick's going around. He turns and he starts counting. Wait, hey Emma, you're our. What was he? What was she again?
Hearts
in the hole. Our ace in the hole. You're supposed to be with us. Come on.
She looks kind of like longingly at the group of kids going, and then back at her father.
Oh, hey, D. Oh, D. And I wheel Joey right around. I just bring everyone to a hold. Hold on. Back. Can I wheel over to D? D, we're gonna go beat up some older kids. Want to come?
I mean, maybe, but there is a slight problem.
He's waiting expectantly.
Yeah, he's just kind of looking at him a little oddly, and she'll just be like, well, I'm not all about... Well, going to jail is a great thing, right?
No, never been.
Not for you, for me.
Why would you go to jail?
Well, let's just say there's a very, very good chance that if I beat up children, that I will probably end up someplace with a really fantastic view.
Oh, then there's no problem. Come on. We got plenty of mud here. We can fix you up. He throws down, he grabs some mud, and he's about to go up and put his hands on her cheeks. Oh.
She's literally not going to stop that part.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You make her as muddy as you want.
Yeah. And just top of the forehead on either side, just smear down since she's got two mud lines.
That's fine. And she's just trying to make sure she's going to just kind of glance over as you're doing it, so the mud probably gets smeared as her head turns.
Yeah.
And just looking to make sure that Emma gets to get away to her dad.
Yeah, Emma's just waving sheepishly at the group of kids and heads back to her dad. Wearing the leotard.
You're distracted with my mud.
But sans tutu, because that has been applied in some form of fashion to whatever their new battering ram is.
Yes.
Perhaps a flag of sorts.
Yeah, it is a new flag.
And she will... I was going to say, just real quickly, she's going to offer kind of sort of a secret, angle her arm around so that Patrick can't see it, but hopefully that Vin can see it, and she'll offer kind of a thumbs up.
Yeah, no, Patrick's working too focused on trying to get Dee involved in the beat down that's about to happen.
Patrick.
Oh, hey, Street Jesus.
Hello.
Dee blinks at Street Jesus.
Hello.
And is suddenly very grateful she doesn't have a cute scent smell. Because I have the other two. All right. Just blinks.
Hello, love. Your love. And she looks at the D and says, your love.
You didn't just say fear love, right?
No, our name's Dee.
I think your name is Love.
I'm not understanding the word you're saying. I'm sorry.
It's Loth, like the spider goddess from Dungeons and Dragons. Loth.
Oh, see, yeah.
I made Carol face palm. I'm so happy.
I don't know this out of character. So wait a minute, this is a computer game?
No, she's a goddess. She's an evil goddess of the Drow in Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, because it looks at those. Okay, yeah, she'll just kind of blink. What?
Well, unless she's played Neverwinter Nights, then yeah, she would know who Loth is.
Well, she has.
No.
She just looks confused.
I'm homeless redcat.
No, you're not. You're Street Jesus.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm the heir of winter, he says as he sets his hands on his hips and so looks proudly.
Patrick is the heir of winter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you have enough names. As she looks at homeless Jesus.
I agree. I don't have enough names.
Well, it is amazing and wonderful to meet you.
Sure.
She'll offer a hand.
he will shake the hand.
She has no reason to be a snob with the mud all over her face.
Patrick, I heard you want to beat some kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is this adult to help them?
Somebody needs to adult better.
This is not the adult right here. You're like just lucky that I got that guy's kid out. All right.
Patrick, I will give you a good lesson. Are you ready?
That sounds boring.
This lesson is really important, Patrick.
Mm.
So I think you're gonna bitch slap some sneaky brav in the face. Is it true?
Now we're gonna beat him up. We're gonna throw rocks and stab him with sticks.
Okay, Patrick. What you gotta do is you're gonna slap this guy. You're gonna slap this guy, and you're gonna slap this guy, and stab him with the sticks while nobody is looking. If you do while people is looking, it's a problem. So,
Well, no one's gonna stop anyway.
I mean, just do it while nobody's looking.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
Cut to Marcia. The evening slowly starts to descend. And the TV goes on just for noise to distract from the wind blowing through your brand new damn window. A commercial interrupts your evening shows. At the Ronald Reagan's Children Wellness Center, be the you always knew you can be. New revolutionary treatment helps improve focus and drive. Patients report stronger motivation and more physical energy as a kid jumps up and gives a thumbs up to the camera. On-staff surgeons have made exceptional breakthroughs, and there's a clip of surgeons cutting into something off-screen because it's a commercial. Let's get real here. Mixing state-of-the-art cybernetic biomesh, and it cuts to one of those like green meshy looking things, and scientists looking seriously at it while stroking their chins. And traditional physical training. Be the you want to be, physically, mentally, permanently. And then it goes to another commercial not related to that.
As that commercial ends, Marcia, who has been drinking pretty much all day, but like especially now, just says, "Already am," to the television. And then she's like eating grapes, and like turns and looks and just like throws one at the window, like pout, like, oh, and continues drinking her drink. She has DVR, I imagine, but she's too lazy to find the remote and deal with it. Is she still home alone? Like her husband's not home or anything?
No, her husband's traveling out of town on business.
Excellent. That's what I was hoping for. By now, she's already made increasingly shrill phone calls to both the person who originally supplied the Venetian glass and someone who can like come and fix the window in the meantime. She hasn't cleaned it up yet because she doesn't do that, and housekeeping will be in tomorrow morning. Does she hear like? I don't know what she would be doing right now. She's.
Where is my?
Yeah, you'll hear that.
She can take a lovely walk in the park. I hear it's very not dirty.
But I think she might be just a hair thirsty before she goes.
Okay. So she eats the rest of the grapes, like stems and all, just like fucking downs them. And she digs out one of those like giant Starbucks cups like this size. And she just fills it with straight liquor. Like no mixer, nothing. She just empties a couple of different bottles of different things.
Well, reaching in the fridge for one of those bottles, there's a face on the milk carton, which you didn't realize they still did.
Okay.
And it's a face that looks a little familiar.
Do I need to roll to remember?
You know what? I don't think so, because I think this kid might have made an impact on you today. And while the picture is in black and white, became cheeky innocence of the ringleader of the kids who so openly defied you.
Okay.
Smiles from your milk.
So here, let me instead of just like going to walk in the park, she had gone to get another drink for home.
Mhm.
And then she sees that and she like blinks at it for a second and she like grabs it and looks at it and she just says, "That little bastard." That's when she like grabs down the to-go cup and like pours liquor, like shoves the milk bottle into her arm and just like stalks out.
I was really hoping she was going to pour the milk into the liquor too. Just kind of be like,
Good.
I mean, she's a red cap. She'd be fine, but that's
Yeah. She might actually.
Just
She
a
can
bunch
say
of
that.
curdled milk
Yeah.
around alcohol.
just so
Yeah.
angry she eats the carton along the way. Just fucking kinda.
Crunch, crunch,
And
crunch, cardboard
so-
crunch.
Yeah, like the lid's not even fully twisted on. It's just like sitting on top of the cup with the big straw in it, and she is storming down toward the park because she knows that's where kids are. And like just generally speaking, she doesn't know if this kid is going to be there right now, but she's A, pretty hammered and B, pretty pissed. So it seems like the best option. So she starts stalking out toward the park. Does she see anyone she recognizes?
Just like the whole crew.
Just shit, everyone is here. Wow.
Yeah.
She sees Vin. She storms over and she's like is like looking around and kind of alerts to him and strides over and she goes, "You're never gonna believe what happened to me today." And then she looks down at Emma and she seems a little. It's Emma, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's probably still got some dirt streaks on her because you can't get it all mud, all of it off with it.
Oh yeah. She seems like a little
And her
surprised.
horse is really muddy too. That's not getting off.
She seems a little surprised to see her still, like even though she's met her multiple times, she's kind of, and she says, "Hello," and then she looks at Vin and she says, "This little bastard," and holds up the milk carton. And she says,
I feel so bad for Emma having to hear that language.
Hey, she's not a kid
It's
person.
her neighbor.
Threw a rock through my new Venetian glass. He's missing, but I found him, and I'll get the reward, and then he'll have to fix my window.
Don't you
She's
have
just like-
renter's insurance, Marcy?
I don't rent.
Don't you have home insurance, Marcy?
That's not the point.
You don't have to pay for it anyway.
It's the principle of the thing. Not only did he throw a rock through my window, he got away with it because some crazy man was standing there trying to talk to me. Ugh.
Wait,
And she starts looking around.
Was it the crazy red cap? Homeless red
Ugh,
cap? He didn't give me a name.
She says red caps. Even though she is one.
Red cats.
Some kind of filthy Jesus or something. I don't know.
Street Jesus, yes, that's the
Filthy
same one.
Jesus. The names are just going to keep increasing throughout the rest of the night.
When we started mentioning red caps and everything, he put earbuds in Emma's ear with like her favorite album. We have to be more careful.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think you should let this one go, Marcy. I think it would be in everyone's best interest.
Do you know how much that glass cost me? not that much comparatively, I guess, but getting it here was such a hassle, and Todd's not even here to deal with the sweaty delivery men.
Didn't you call them like yesterday morning to install it?
Yes, and they were extremely rude.
Didn't you order it the night before?
She's very persuasive.
She says, I don't think it's unreasonable for somebody to call a place of business that's supposed to supply product and ask for expedited service at a reasonable sum.
No. Hands up. But perspective.
As you guys are yelling, somebody's approaching you.
Filthy Jesus.
Filthy Jesus.
Which
Stinky
direction
Jesus.
is he like approaching from a way that one of us would see, or that both of us would, or what?
He's approaching in a really visible way.
With his sign.
Also, I was going to say, wouldn't the smell kind of go ahead of any?
That's what I was trying to figure out if she saw him or smelled him first.
It's up to you.
Not that she can smell much over the slowly curdling milk in the giant glass of vodka that she's carrying around.
Bitch.
Did he say yo bitch?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
You talk shit about me.
Marcia turns around and she says, that is not a very nice thing to call my friend. And points at him.
Ben kind of looks at her confused. Excuse me?
And then and she like puts her hand up like this, like over Ben's mouth, like shh. Like gently. She's like, and she says, what do you want, street god?
You're a bitch, and you were talking shit about me, bitch.
I talk shit about everyone and I'm a bitch all the time. What's new? And she turns around.
And that is also no way to talk to a lady.
That's none of your business.
Yes, it is. We were having a conversation that you have come to interrupt.
It's an
You're
A&B
talking about me.
conversation, so fuck off, Marcy says.
Marcy,
She is,
stop,
pretty
please.
blitzed right now.
Are you really gonna try and get in between the fighting?
Well, wait, out of character, yes, because my 7-year-old daughter is right in front of both of them.
Oh yeah, it's gonna look good.
At that moment, Marcia remembers that Red Cap Jesus had been talking to the kid that she saw before, and she brandishes the milk carton and she says, "You know who this is? He's missing, but I'm gonna get the reward money." So
You whore! I know where you fucking live. Shut the fuck up.
I know where you live too, just out here. What's the point?
Homeless Red Cap, I believe that is enough. My daughter is present.
My
She's just
apologies.
listening to
my
the
lord.
music.
The homeless Red Cap says, "My apologies, my lord." And he kind of gives a look to the Red Cap and says, "I will see you around, bitch."
My husband calls me worse. She like whatever.
Slowly, like walks back towards Patrick and Dee.
Yeah, we're sitting over here having this conversation.
Yeah, Marcus, your mom has green paint, right? Since she's bigger than us, we can paint her up. She can be the Hulk.
Well, I mean, green is a great color on me, but I mean, why don't we get the paint and we can like play superheroes?
Yeah, we could play superheroes, and we're gonna go beat up the bad guys. Yeah.
Can I roll perception to see if Marcia sees him in the park somewhere?
Yes,
Yeah.
perception alertness.
Okay. What's the goal?
It's difficulty 6 is the standard.
Okay.
Unless otherwise noted. 1.
Damn it.
Yes. But I mean, that's
One
enough.
success. Hey, that's still enough to catch that you hear him.
So in the middle of this beautiful superhero conversation, you just hear this, "Hey, kid!"
Patrick just turns, got his hands on his hips.
So does
And you see them. I mean, yes.
Dee's kind of used to being referred to as kid too. She just like this total turn of like multiple people.
Probably a lot of kids in this park that are just like, what?
Yeah.
She starts like tromping over, and she's like, "I know your secret, kid. You are a runaway, a milky runaway." She trips.
So?
She's still wearing her heels, and it's like grass.
Yeah.
So?
Yeah, and there's a mud covered teenager like standing amongst them, so it's taller than them, and like. But the main thing that we notice about her is that she has like extra spider eyes on her face, and there's like some sort of vestigial kind of legs coming off. Clearly a puka of some sort.
They also,
Yeah.
I wanted to say, my character is also there. I said it there. He's going near them, just so you know.
Yes. Yeah, so he's sitting there too, but just this is the first time you've seen me. That's why I'm mentioning these things. And the eyes are like sort of silver. Famian, she has eye contacts in, but you can see the and all the other Fae eyes.
The air of winter.
So Marcia gets closer, and she does that thing. You know when like adults talk to kids and they like put their hands on their knees and like lean forward like they're buddies? She does that, and she's smiling. She's not super close, but she's like closer. And she says, So what is that you're going to come with me, and you're going to clean up all the glass in my living room, or I'm going to call child services.
No, that doesn't sound fun at all. What I'd like to see is you to go flying into that trash can over there.
This isn't like an improv thing. You can stop yelling. She says.
Patrick just suddenly does a back handspring, and he jumps over Joey's wheelchair and lands. And that's my bunk to hopscotch her into the nearest trash can.
I'm gonna go with that. That's a bunk 3.
Bunk 3. Okay, so difficulty 5 with how many dice am I rolling? You're Faye, right? Yes, you are.
God, hopscotch is the most perfect thing ever for your character to have.
Yes, and that is is 4 successes.
You might want you might want to look at how far it actually sends her, because hopscotch is a nasty thing when it's overpowered.
Well, luckily she's not going to take any damage no matter what, but she's going into someone's trash can. The end result is she's going into a trash can. But yeah, Patrick lands, and suddenly she just goes poof, screaming into the sky.
Okay.
Wait, like in front of like humans too?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
here we go.
Yeah, in front of the kids. Yes.
So basically, we're gonna have people going, "I don't know what just happened." Yeah. Let's give Carol a moment to figure out how to let this play out.
Just give me a moment.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
It's to be expected with changelings, I think.
Yeah. Also, Mercy is kind of a dick. So.
Yep. And Patrick's not responding to authority figures. So.
Almost recap is not a responsible individual.
Luckily, as she goes flying through the air, a bus passes by, just zooms by. So people looking from this angle seem to think that she was hit by a bus and rush to see if she's okay.
Does she falls down to the to a trash can?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when it looks like everyone's starting to rush over to her, she's going to lean down to Patrick and be like, "Just get out of here."
He just gives a whoop whoop and grabs onto Joey and starts laughing, and everyone starts running.
Ven is running towards Marcy.
Marcy is like surprisingly collected. She's like waving off people who are trying to help her up and kind of like dusting herself off. And when Vin gets up to her, she looks at him and she smiles and she says, "I'm going to murder that child."
He takes her hand, helps her up, brushes off her knuckles. I would not blame you, but perhaps we might discuss an alternative method, one that, you know, doesn't involve you going to jail and losing your beautiful home and $5,000 windows. Does Emma still, does she still have her headphones in? Yeah, she's
Emma
probably
is
further
off
back then.
dancing where
Okay.
we were before.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I was gonna say I'll just have Dee go over to Emma actually and be like, "Here, you want some?" Like trying to distract her from the chaos. So she's trying to give her some of this mud-colored brown fruit crap that she's drinking. God knows if it's good or not. You can decide if it actually tastes good, but it looks terrible.
It's not alcoholic though, right?
No,
No.
it's a smoothie. It's just a
Okay.
question of what colors got mixed together here.
Okay.
The homeless is also approaching towards the Marcy and the she again.
Marcy, who has just gotten up from a pile of garbage, just sort of she like gags for a second and she goes, "I didn't think it could smell worse, but
You're right.
you know how to drink."
You're right. Shh, Queen.
"Oh, I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be fine?" "Why wouldn't I be fine? Everything's fantastic. I'm going to jail for murdering a child, and
Ben hands her one of her broken Jimmy Choos.
My
Oh, that
queen.
gets even worse.
You look so delicious.
what? What? I could.
He said, "My queen, you look so delicious."
So just so you know, Rebecca, you were launched basically 10 stories straight up
Excellent.
and launched into the nearest trash can. So you got a pretty good view of the world.
Yeah, she's not super stoked. She just blinks at Redcap Jesus, and then she looks at Vin and she looks at her shoe and she says, "I'm going shopping," and she just starts walking, like
Oh,
kind of dazed, but also just like so, like full of rage that she's imploding right
Like-
now.
but you realize the best part of
Rebecca-
it is that if you had Jimmy Choos, there were heels on those. If one of them is broken, then you're walking at a hobble.
Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like the Marcy felt that this red cap was for a second trying to flirt with the other red cap by saying "my queen."
Oh, she's aware.
Oh, she knows. It's just her. It's just she's currently absolutely livid at a certain child.
She hobbles a few steps and then she stops and takes off her other shoe, and she turns back around and she kind of not like hard, but she like tosses it at the homeless red cap and she says, "That's probably worth $5," and then turns around and keeps like staggering away.
The red cap takes the shoe, starts smells.
Oh.
Aw. I'm just gonna say, consider that like Cinderella with the shoe. You gotta find it.
Exactly. He literally considers it as like Cinderella and the shoe, and like pushes it like towards his heart and looks at Wynn and says, "One day she's gonna be my queen, and I will be the king of red caps."
Oh Lord.
Red caps are notoriously they're a matriarchal kind of group. They you know.
Yeah, so Marcia is heading back toward Emma. And as she goes, she's kind of leaning on Vin at that point. 'Cause she's just like, the whole life is a shit show. She just said that she says, "I need so many cocktails."
How about we get you propped up and make sure your back isn't broken, and then get some food in you. I'm cooking dinner tonight. Please.
Don't ever let your kid be like that. I don't understand why anyone would want one of those monsters around.
You saw what he did.
And then goes, wait, the red cap are children.
Yes.
No, she probably does just say yes or just nods.
Well, please join me and Emma for dinner. It would be my honor.
Okay.
Neighbor.
Did Emma enjoy that crap?
So, if
did Emma enjoy the muddy crap?
She's a kid. If it's sugary, she's just like, great, yeah. And she holds like her dad's phone with earbuds in her ear on one end, and
oh, wait a second. She had her. Wait a minute. She had his phone.
Well, I don't know what else. Are iPods still a thing?
No, he would have given her his phone.
Yeah.
But she would have tried to make the offer to this kid to trade her a drink for the phone, because she could totally look through his phone. I have the skill to even dig in deeper if I want to.
Well, I mean, if you want to do that, yeah, go ahead. Let's see.
She just wants to look through like messages and stuff like that.
Yeah, just I guess a charisma. I don't even know.
So probably subterfuge.
And I was gonna say empathy. Yeah,
Empathy.
Just to be like, hey, kid, it would be fun.
Here,
I'll hold her phone.
Just let me see it for a minute. You can still listen. I'll stay right here with it. Like, she's not gonna turn the music off.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Let me figure out what that role would be. Charisma, empathy.
Yeah.
Sure. So it's genius.
I mean, you're going at it like a friendly way, right?
Oh yeah, totally. Like, she wasn't gonna be like rude about it. This is not a power roll, guys. I'm prepared for a botch. I got 2.
Woo! All right. She looks at the drink and looks at the phone. She's like, yeah.
Yeah, she'll just be like, let me see what kind of music's in there.
Yeah.
Week. And then as soon as she's turned away, she's gonna like look through and see what kind of book, who he talks to, what kind of messages there are, personal stuff. She's not worried about any of the other junk.
Yeah. You'll see like some phone calls, like there's your mother's number in there. How far back are you looking?
It depends how far I can before because I'm trying to keep half an eye on them coming back. Because you know what I mean. So
yeah. Well, they were talking quite a while, so you can look back as far as you want. But if you want to,
I want to see other names and stuff.
Yeah, like if you want to like make a special note of anything, you'll have the time for one of those. So.
Okay, well, no, that's fine. She was just going to do a quick perusing. She knows she doesn't have that much time. I mean, this is his kid.
Okay, there's a 1-800 number in there. The rest are all local numbers. And the 1-800 number happened just shy of a week ago.
Okay. Yeah, like as soon as she realizes that he's doing that, she'll just hand the phone back and be like, "Keep the drink, kid."
While Vin and Marcia are walking over, Marcia takes her phone out and dials a number and puts it up to her ear. And after a second, she says, "Yes, I'd like to report a crime. A little boy in front of a bus. I'm okay, but I want this dealt with."
Jesus fucking Christ.
The beautiful thing is there will be no reports from any of the buses of hitting somebody, even though.
Did she just did she just like frame me? I love it.
No.
Oh, fuck. I would love if she just framed me.
No, she's trying to get the kid in trouble.
Okay.
This kid pushed me in front of a bus, and they're gonna find Patrick and all of his delightful whimsy.
And then they're all going into trash cans.
You only have so much glamour.
Yes. As you make your way, are you
That's
going
for me to know. And for them to find out.
She just wants the police report on file. She doesn't really care if they follow up on it, but it could come in handy for her later.
You, Rebecca, Marcia has seen and knows that Ben has a very small freehold in the attic of his house.
Okay. Yeah, she would like to go to there probably. And just cry. No, she doesn't cry.
Yeah.
Oh no, I broke a nail.
As Emma goes with, I was going to say, as you approach Emma, she has both of her hands around a large smoothie that Dee had previously had, and she continues to like dance around to the music. As she like holds her the phone under her elbow.
Emma, can I have a sip of that, please?
And she just kind of looks at it and like, and she hands the cup.
Well, he sips it because, like, just in case, making sure this is not alcoholic.
This is a puka. You never know.
It tastes like somebody just like too many fruits because she said no to the ones she wanted. Somehow did manage to avoid strawberries.
Yes, strawberry. If there was strawberry there, she wouldn't have been drinking it. So
yeah. So it is this concoction of like all the health grasses and add-ons and vitamins, as well as several
a whole bunch of sweets, probably sickly sweet.
Sickly sweet and a little dusty tasting.
Emma, are you enjoying this?
She just gives like a shrug.
You don't have to drink it if you don't like it.
She just kind of like reaches for the cup because
he hands it to her. And she's like trying to read lips because she's still listening to her music. He leans over to Marcia and goes, I think she might be one of you in a few years.
Marcy just says she could do worse.
Well, yes, but I don't know how to take care of a red cap.
Because Dee's still down there, like covered in mud and just sitting on the ground, sort of like looking at Emma because she's shorter, so easier to talk on her level. And she'll just kind of look up and be like, I mean, you do realize that kids totally hate sugar, right?
Marcia looks at her and she says, "You've got something."
Oh, that's too bad. Then maybe I should wipe it off. And she will stand up and she will hug you. And then try to wipe her face on her shirt.
If she comes in for a hug, Marcy is just gonna put like a hand on her face and be like, "No."
Well, then she will wipe her face on your hand. It works either way.
It's all muddy.
Because it pretty much came down her face like this, and probably on her shirt too.
Well, then she will wipe her hand off on your shoulder dress. Skirt.
Well,
Ben hands her. He digs into his satchel and hands her like a white handkerchief.
She looks at him and she looks really distressed, and she just says, "Why are they all like this?" Every single one of them, and wipes her hand.
Miscreants. They are all miscreants.
Marcia, I am telling you, you would probably find more. You would find more enjoyment at court, my dear.
These youths just.
Once Emma gets settled in, I would be happy to take you and make proper introductions.
At this point, Emma is like holding the phone up to you, and she pulls out the earphone. She's like, "There's a phone call for you, Daddy."
Thank you, dear. And he takes the earbuds, but within Alvin McBride speaking.
Yes, Mr. McBride, this is Dr. Jones' office at the Ronald Reagan's Children Wellness Center. I just wanted to confirm that you will be attending the the referral meeting tomorrow. I have you down for 8 in the morning.
Yes, of course.
Excellent. Make sure that you bring your daughter, and because we'll be asking her some questions as well, of course.
Okay. How long should the appointment take?
Anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half.
That's awfully long, isn't it?
It is a session to determine which course of treatment would best be suited for your daughter. And since you weren't quite sure what could have been the source of any of her behavioral issues, we want to make sure that we block off enough time. If it goes shorter, it goes shorter. But
may I speak to the doctor, please? Because this was less about her having issues and more about her being. Well, it's a specific situation.
I'm sorry, sir. It is very late, and I am just making sure I'm making the appointment phone calls at the moment. Dr. Jones won't be in until about 5 a.m. tomorrow.
Wonderful. I'll be giving him a call at 5 a.m.
Her. Dr. Laney.
I would have said the appropriate gender. Sorry. I remember there being 2 doctors in that thing you told me for some reason.
Nah, that was just the one, Dr. Laney Jones.
I will be giving her a call at 5 a.m. Thank you.
Yes, and she hangs up.
I apologize about that.
Marcia has been kind of like she's just waiting, and she says, between the glass and the shoes and the dress and the vodka that I spilled, now the total is up to, I think we're headed toward 10 grand. So he owes me quite a bit at this point.
How expensive is your vodka?
It was more the shoes and dress, dear. Also expensive. Everything she owns is everything she drinks, owns, and eats is expensive.
I love your red cap, Rebecca. Just so you know, I love her.
Yeah, I totally spend that much on all my clothes. That's I mean, she's just sitting there, kind of nodding along.
Man,
she's listening to her rant.
You guys don't want to know how much
paying hand over fist at this point.
You guys don't want to know how much I spend on my wardrobe. It's bad. I mean, and I get 70% off where I work too. So
Yes, she's actually just kind of, because she knows Mr. McBride already, but she doesn't actually know this red cap who's going on and on and on. Other than that, she was chasing a child.
But you would know her mother.
So Marcia kind of blinks and looks at Dee, and she says, "Who are you?"
Barbara. You can call me Babs.
Oh, right. You're the sing girl, right? I'm assuming that she would have seen her around, or know that she's a puka.
Well, Puka's really obvious. I don't know if you know who she is or not. She doesn't know you though.
Yeah.
So yeah. But the main thing you would know about Puka is if you ask a direct question, they have to lie.
Yeah.
You ask a direct question.
She doesn't really have a lot to say about herself. She's just like Marcia Mason. I'm the head of the HOA. The head of the HOA who has some very broken windows because some youths got it into their heads. They wanted to play with rocks.
That is a tragedy. I have no idea what you could do about that.
Well, I'm doing all that I can.
I have
She doesn't-
every faith that you are.
She doesn't seem to notice the patronization.
The sarcasm?
Yeah.
You can notice it if you want. Behave how you wish. I'm just playing my character.
Right now, she's got other stuff on her mind, so she probably wouldn't care very much. Sarcasm is like the least of her moment. Okay.
Right. Well, I should probably go track some lost boys or something. I don't know.
And she looks at Dee and she says, "You see that little redheaded bastard? You tell him he owes me 10 grand."
I am very much going to do that. It's ASAP. Top of my list.
Gives Dee the milk carton. That's what he looks like. She hands it over.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, she's just gonna kind of look at it, then try to hand it back because she doesn't want to carry around sour milk.
Yeah. Well, she emptied it, so
still doesn't want to carry around a milk carton. She'll just look at it and nod.
Cool.
Right. Lost Boys. Yeah. And she's gonna kind of give a little bit of a wave to Vin, and kind of a rub on the head to Emma, that because she's starting to kind of like the kid, and then she'll just start heading off unless someone stops her in whatever direction Patrick went.
I'm giving somebody while I work on something in private messages. Oh, okay. Right. A small kid, not one of the hoodlums from earlier, comes up to Marcia with something in his hand. And
oh God, she's not gonna notice at first. He's gonna have to get her attention.
Lady, you.
She turns around and she says, "Oh God, another one."
This is just a regular mortal kid.
I know.
It's still bad. At least he won't launch it 300 feet into the air.
What?
Oh, that guy, back there with, the smelly guy, he says this is for you. And he opens up his hand, and there's a what appears to be an expensive ring in his hand.
Marcia looks at it for a second, and then she reaches down and snatches it really quick, and she says, "Oh my God, I forgot what it's called."
What?
When you get the quality of a stone appraised. Thank you.
Yeah.
She says, well, it's worth appraising. And she just holds on to it. She says, and then she looks back at the kid and she says, "What?"
Roll perception, Kenning.
Okay. Oh, God. Oh, no.
Oh, I see your sobriety level is very high currently, Carol.
Right.
Okay, I did it.
Okay.
I did it.
Yay! It's there's something glamour is coming off the ring. It is and there's just something slightly off about it. The stone is the same color as the remaining Jimmy Choo shoe that you're wearing. Jesus.
Oh, did he make my shoe into a ring?
This summer, coming to a theater near you. Experience the romance. Kings and Queens, a red cap story.
The end
to do with this.
is nigh.
Well, if you decide to try and appraise it, you probably should do it quickly, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. She looks at Van and she says, "I think I've got a fan." And then she looks back at the kid, who I'm assuming is still there. Okay, no, if she hasn't gone yet, she's gonna be like, "Go."
No, scary adults don't have lingering children.
She gives it to. She hands the ring to Vin. She doesn't have pockets. She doesn't want to carry it. She's just like.
Great. Okay, so we're going to fast forward a little bit, so we can do like scene wrap. What is that noise?
It was an overhead fan. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So, anyways,
Stargate. Sorry.
The rest of the evening surprisingly goes with very little to no incident, besides the incident that is directly sought out, exhausting playground battles and such.
Yep.
But as Emma is being put to sleep, you notice she looks really, really upset. Vin.
Okay, Emma, what's wrong, dear?
I can't find Falala.
Okay. Give me a moment. I'll find out where. Carol, is it a he or a she?
It's an it. It is a stuffed animal.
I didn't know if Emma referred to it as a he or a she. More
Emma refers to it always by name.
I will find out where Falala is. Don't worry.
I can't go to sleep without Falala. Mom said never to go to sleep without Falala.
I understand. Give me 5 minutes, okay?
She just nods with like a panicked look and like tears starting to form in her eyes.
He kisses her on the forehead. Let me go make a phone call. I'll find out where she is. Okay?
And she just nods because if she talks, she's going to cry.
He goes into the kitchen and pulls out a dark blue bowl and fills it with water.
Mm-hmm.
Then digs in a drawer and puts 3 drops of ink in it, and it's gonna be my bunk for Omen.
Okay, I'm gonna give that a bunk 2.
Okay, I'm going to have to also spend a glamour because I don't have prop.
Okay.
A second. So I roll soothsay, and I get. Do I roll for prop, or does this just allow me to use it? I can't.
It just allows you to
yeah, that's right.
It.
I'm gonna go ahead and spend another willpower. This feeds right into my legacies, so it kind of makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so it's 8. So difficulty 6 because I had a level 2 bunk.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 successes on Omen.
Okay. Slowly, the image of a horse covered in mud standing on the ground is coming into view. It seems to be outdoors somewhere.
Like at the park?
That would probably be the best bet. At the park, in the dark.
Okay. I call Marcia.
So there's the ringback tone or whatever for a second, and it's probably Kesha. And then or something. And
Tick
then
tock on the clock.
either that or like
I was expecting Bitch. I was expecting Bitch by Meredith Brooks.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a good one too. Something really good.
I'm a lover. I'm a child. Oh, that's Pink. Anyway.
No, that was Meredith Brooks. That's the one.
Oh, that was. Never mind.
Yep. She answers and she just says, "What do you want, honey?"
I need a favor.
Yeah.
I have to go back down to the park. Can you watch Emma for maybe 30 minutes?
Oh, yeah. Fine. What's she gonna? Is she like? I don't need to do anything, do I? Like she's good, mostly. Like she's been fed already.
Yes.
Okay. Sure. So she hangs up and wanders over. She's still awake. She's in some kind of like totally outrageous pajamas. Like the full on, like silk nighty dress with like the robe and all kinds of stuff.
Interesting look. Thank you. I'll be back soon.
Since you've taken longer than 5 minutes, Emma is now in hysterics. She opens the window to just kind of like give herself a breath of fresh air and just this like crying.
Emma, I'm going to go get her. I will be back soon.
She's inconsolable. So she'll believe it when she sees it.
Marcia says she'll be fine. Just go get the horse so that this can stop. This.
And he mouths, as he's leaving and picking up his car keys, he mouths, "Thank you." And
she tells me okay.
So cutting to somebody who will probably be sleeping in a tree across the street. You're going to hear the sound of your new friend screaming out, "I want the Lola!" from a window somewhere across the street.
I've just been starting to settle down for the night and talking to a small light hovering over about the adventures of the day. Well, we didn't find them, unfortunately. It was a real shame, actually. Yeah, I know. I mean, we got everything together. We had a battering ram on Joey's chair. It was wonderful. We were going to just smash into them. They never seen it coming. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have new plans. We'll be able to get them. Then she hears the scream and he pops up. And with that, he rolls out the window of the thing, lands, tumbles, and is standing in that standing position, looking around where the I want Falala kind of thing. And with that, he starts going through the brush to find where the commotion is.
Up in an upstairs window across the street, you see Emma having herself a proper fit about her horse. The horse, which was also initiated into your little gang today via Mud.
So at that, go Fred. Go ahead.
I would like to say that Marcia is probably watching Emma have a shit fit like it's fucking TV. Like just like lounging in the doorway, just watching and like sipping some kind of beverage. She doesn't know what goes into watching children. Just FYI, that's just about where she is.
That's fine. And there's not a whole lot of conversation coming from Emma besides the fit being pitched about the whereabouts of her horse and that she can't go to sleep without Falala.
There's a small frown there. It's like, well, where would Falala be? What do you think, the park? Sure, let's go to the park.
All right. So more people heading to the park in search of this horse. But again, D, you roll. Let's see. You like computers, right?
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay. You're before you go to bed,
Huh?
you see something
Oh, babe, we're wrapping
come
up in
across
the
your
next
feed.
10 minutes.
What?
Okay, sorry.
People we left the room. I understand that.
Sorry, it's hard for me to respond. I'm getting half of what's being said.
Yeah, no, it's I stopped.
Sorry, I'll be right back. I need to take my dog out.
All right,
Okay.
no worries.
Anyways, as Dee is like checking Facebook and whatever on her computer, she sees a local story about a young girl named Allison who has become the ward of the state while being treated at the Ronald Reagan Children's Wellness Center after her mother suffered a fatal cardiac arrest today. The doctors are interviewed in the article if you want to read it, or do you want to ignore it?
I mean, there's no reason not to.
Yeah.
So, sure, she'll click on it.
The doctors say that they have every confidence that they are going to help this child better than her mother ever could. It is a remarkably colorblind statement.
No, that's not going to sit right with her at all.
And that once she has finished her treatment, she will be a shining example of just all that the RRCWC can achieve if parents will just step out of the way.
We're literally now she wants to rescue this child. Thank you.
Yes. And finally, Redcap Jesus, as you go to sleep in San Alipius, a preferred spot near
a pie place.
I was going to say near a mural.
The mural makes more sense.
Yes. It's comforting to sleep next to. For a moment, the chaos seems to make more sense when he sleeps next to it. And dreams come quickly tonight. And it's mostly a series of very violent images. There is like a flock, or not a flock, a herd, sorry, of galloping horses. There are snakes wrapping themselves around the horses, which then grow in size and consume them whole. The horses that manage to escape the snakes head to a tower where a queen smiles with jagged, pointed teeth. And before you wake up, you could swear she makes eye contact with you. And that is where I will end the scene if there are no objections.
I object. I'm sorry. That's Ahmed Chan's job.
Right.
God damn it, William.